Hello, my Star Trek people. I have no idea what that was all about, but okay. Alright, in our last mission, we played Skirmish. And now it is time for the next, called Spin the Wheel. And the wheel we will spin. A deep cover intelligence operative on Drazana Station needs your help. Dabo! So, here we are, Franklin Drake again, telling us I need your assistance with a rather delicate situation. We have an intelligence operative undercover at Drazana Station. Her astute observations have given us the edge in several critical engagements in the neutral zone. Alright. Zamara is her name. I need you to go to Drazana, find Zamara, and assist her. Take her to safety if you have to, but don't blow her cover. If you go in there weapons blazing, you may get her killed. I've accessed your logs. It's been quite some time since you had some shore leave. I suggest you visit Drazana for some downtime. Oh, really? Go to Drazana Station, which is located in the Donati sector of the 8 Aerodynamic Sector Block Transponder. Request a sensor from an undercover intelligence operative. And we're going to get, and it kind of spoils this mission by telling us what the reward's going to be, because we find out later in the mission we need this gun, but it's really awesome. It's called a Synchronic Proton Distortion Prototype Assault Rifle. And this gun, let me tell you, it's sweet. First of all, it's like a Ghostbuster gun. Everyone in the game calls it the Ghostbuster gun because it literally looks like you're firing the proton guns from Ghostbusters the movies. And it's pretty sweet. It's auto leveling, so it levels with you as you increase in rank. So it keeps getting more powerful all the way up to Vice Admiral. So you never really have to have another gun. And when this game first started, or not the game, I mean when this weapon first came out, for the very first time, it was actually way overpowered and kind of pretty much owned everything in the game. They nerfed it once, and then they brought some power back to it. It's at a decent level now where it's very usable as a good weapon in the game. So it's secondary fire. It has a chain reaction. It's a chained where like you hit one guy and it can attack 4 other people in a chain if they're close enough. So it's really cool. And it actually does pretty good against the Borg later on in the game. So very good weapon. Alright, let's accept that. Let's go to the Drazana Station. Star trekking across the universe. And it's up there. And here we are. And I know I've completely been forgetting to do my DOFs during this whole thing. My poor DOFs, I mean, none of them are on any assignments. I need to start doing more with that. Alright, go to Drazana System. Spin the wheel. I like how it has the title there. It's really cool. It's like you're starting an episode. And here's Drazana Station. It's pretty cool. And this is a neutral station. KDF and Fed can come here, so it's cross-faction. And I never understood what's going on here, but this thing has fallen over. Like these are okay. They're like straight, like they should be. This one is broken. I don't know why. I haven't figured out yet why, but it is. Anyway, welcome to Drazana. You are cleared for docking. And there's a Ferengi here that we will meet. You can read all his dialogue if you wish. It's pretty interesting. And he's going to serve us, after this mission, is done, we're going to have the option to now create and buy something called a Comet Cocktail, which is a consumable item. So Drazana Station, and as you can see, there's other players here. It's an open public social zone. So even though we're in a mission right now, we're still in this, public zone, which is cool. It allows us to do our mission with other people around us, so we don't feel like we're alone or playing a separate kind of game. So that's cool. So here's the first person we need to talk to is Bilan. And as you can see, it goes blue here too, indicating that triolic comet that's coming through the system. And there's that triolic energy and the Davidians kind of interfering with us. And they got stuff on the station, like you can access your mail and other things like that. So it's a zone you can come to and have a little fun. All right, and you got people from, of course, KDF and all that. So, okay, anyway. We need to question, not talk to Bilan. Question Bilan is the mission. So we'll question him. Welcome to Drazana Station. Care to hear about today's specials? The Comet Cocktail, it's out of this world. You can read more about the Ferengi. You can read more about the station, but I'm looking for someone. Aren't we all? Me, I want a leggy Vulcan with a liberal attitude towards interspecies relations. So are you looking for someone in particular or just some company? Her name is Zamara. Do you know her? Oh yeah, I know Zamara. Maybe she's been here recently and maybe she hasn't. My memory is kind of hazy. Of course, the Ferengi are trying to, they're the Ferengi. They won't just give information away. They want to sell it in some way. So we can totally make him upset here and fail the mission, so you have to be careful which options you choose. Tell me where Zamara is or I will snap your spine. We'll fail the mission. That's pretty self-explanatory. Perhaps we could come to some sort of arrangement. Ferengi like arrangements. It is imperative that I find Zamara. So I'm going to go with arrangement. Yeah, I'm sure we can. In fact, I feel my memory clearing up already. I tell you what, I know you Starfleet types aren't big on Latinum, but what you have are skills and willingness to get your hands dirty. And that's what I need right now. Our replicators are on the fritz. Maybe it's the whole power system, because the lights are going wonky too, but a little blue mood lighting isn't as big a problem for me as unfilled drink orders. So, use the turbolift to get to the cargo bay and get my replicators working. And by the time you're done, I'm sure I'll have remembered where I saw Zamara. Use the turbolift to go to the cargo bay and scan the station's replicators. So that's what we're going to do. We have to go to the cargo bay and repair some replicators so that he will help us. So we're going to go over here. We're going to go to cargo bay. Now, this is one of the puzzles. I mentioned the last episode we had a little puzzle. It wasn't too hard. This one is harder. This one requires a lot of reading. If you don't know the correct order, it will take a lot of trial and error to figure it out. I still have trouble with it because I just can't remember it for some reason. So the first thing we want to do is to scan the station replicators. Input request, continue, run diagnostic on replicators, action unavailable, replicators are offline due to diminished function of electroplasma distribution network. So, we did that. Now we can run diagnostic on electroplasma distribution network. 30% drop in power reported on deck 1. Replicators are offline until power fluctuations are repaired. Okay, now we have more things. What is the cause of the loss on the power of deck 1? Unknown. What must be done to restore power to deck 1? Power must be restored through systems to relieve strain on EPS conduits. The following systems are available for this process: holosuites, gravity control, replicators, environmental controls, defense grid. 6 connections are required to stabilize the power grid. As you can imagine, this is not the correct order, but these have to be put in the correct order for this to work. So you have to figure out the correct order to reroute power through. Okay, now we've got another thing that came up that says Hail Engineering Team. And our engineering team is going to tell us all about this stuff. Drazana was built in the mid-23rd century. So this station was here during Kirk's time. So it's an old station, basically. And the EPS stuff is crazy. And she's going to give us suggestions and help us. Okay, now we have to investigate power relays, and there's 8 of them. And then we have to realign the station power flow. So the very first thing you want to do is scan everything. We scan the replicator power relays. The Ferengi blah 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 blah. So we can scan that. You can read that. Now that's 1 of 8. So just go to each console and scan it. That's 2 of 8. And you can read that. And there are some hidden things that people aren't aware of, but this box is one. Scan burned out power couplings. So be sure to scan this box, because that's one. And then another thing people don't see is this one over here. There's this thing on the wall that's broken. Scan damaged power coupling. And then come over here, scan this one. And then come way over here and scan this one. And there is one more, and I believe it's this one over here. Now we scan this one. Okay, now that they're all scanned, you can go to your engineering report and you can read all about them and how they connect to each other. So there's a whole ton of information here after you scanned them, and that will help you read and learn about what to scan first and all that kind of stuff. And you can read the diagnostic results. So next we have to realign the station flow, and this is where you put them in the correct order. And I do happen to know the order, so I will tell it to you now. First, you want to scan or reroute power to replicators. Then you want to reroute power to environmental controls. Then you want to do gravity control. Then you want to do defense grid. And then environmental controls again. Yes, you have to scan things twice. And then finally, replicators again. And that is successful. So basically, Hollow Suites was ignored, and those other panels over here were completely ignored. So you don't have to worry about Hollow Suites. It's just the gravity, that it's just those 4 or those 3 there, and then the defense grid. That's all you have to worry about. So that's it. It's done. Now we can go back to Balan. And that's a hard puzzle. If you do it the first time without knowing the order, and you have to read through it and figure it out, it takes a bit of trial and error. It's one of the more harder ones. Alright, report to Balan. Yes. Your replicators are working. They are, and I am exceedingly pleased by your generous offer to repair them for no compensation. I can't let you go away empty-handed, though. How about I give you a 15% discount on drinks and souvenirs for an amount of time to be determined by management? We had a deal, the replicators, for information about Samara. Fine, a deal's a deal, right? Never let it be said that I cheat a valued customer like yourself. Personally, I don't know, but you're so interested in her. She's a looker, but she's just trying to her. So find Samara, and I have a feeling she's by the Dabo tables, because he just said so. And that's way back here. And boom, there she is. Talk to Zamara. Be careful, they are watching. They who? Shh, keep your voice down, I'm being watched. I've seen too many familiar faces in the crowd, and there are shadows, watchers in the dark. I see them out of the corner of my eye when they think I'm not looking, but I'm always looking. When the lights change, they are there. Sounds like the shadows from Babylon 5, which I think is kind of cool. I was sent to help you. You weren't sent to help me, you were sent to watch me. Drake needs me to keep feeding information to Starfleet intelligence. The Klingons come here and they drink and they talk. It's amazing the bits of information you can pick up around a Dabo table. Everything, even the smallest detail, is important. Captain Jared was in here last week. He ordered blood wine, an entire bottle of the 2309 vintage to be exact. That business with the House of Torg must have upset him more than we know. Tell me more about what happened with the House of Torg. Torg was on the High Council until they made a play. Blah, blah, blah. You can read all this stuff. What can I do to help you? Find out who is watching me. I'm not safe here. The Klingons are looking for me. They know someone has been feeding intelligence to Starfleet. The ghosts are always watching. Their eyes are hungry. Yesterday they surrounded a drunken Klingon. Now he's dead. They will find me when the blue light shines, and then I'll disappear. I know what the ghosts are. How could you know that? You may think you know. You may even have readings in your tricorder that you think are right, but you don't know. How could you know? I'm here every day. They watch me, and I watch them. I can take you someplace safe. No, they're everywhere. They're watching. You've been here too long. Someone will notice that we're together. Go do something else. Play Dabo. I'll contact you when I'm ready, when it's safe. Play Dabo and wait for Zamera's signal. Now we have to go play Dabo. So this mission was a cool way to introduce Dabo when they introduced it into the game, so that players could learn how to play Dabo and how you can win GPL and all that good stuff, Gold Press Platinum. Spin the wheel and win. And that's Lita, of course, from Deep Space Nine. Well, it's her hologram, but it is the same voice actor. Same person voiced her from the show, so that's really cool. Spin the wheel and win. So you can read all of this about Lita and Dabo if you want, but we're just going to play Dabo. And since I know what I'm doing, crap, I missed that one. Gotta wait for it to come around again. And I'm gonna bet each slot. I'm just gonna randomly choose one. Place bet. Let's see what happens. You do have to win a Dabo round in order for this part here to succeed. So keep playing until you win. And I won. I got 200 Gold Press Platinum and 15 and 15. Dabo! Now I have to return to Zamera. So now I've got some GPL. If I go here to my assets, you'll see I've got 230 Gold Press Platinum now. Talk to Zamera. Be careful, they're watching. Are you ready to talk now? You don't need to worry about me. I'm going to leave this place to the ghosts. They seem to belong here more than we do. I've booked passage on a ship. You don't need to know which one. Just tell Drake that he'll keep getting his intel, one way or another. Good luck, Ensign Ricky. You're going to need it. Cool. Captain, there were Davidians in the Donatu system, and now you found evidence of them again on Drazana's station. Obviously, they're using the neutral zone as some sort of feeding ground, and that puts dozens of worlds at risk. I've requested sensor data from ships closest to the comet's current location for analysis, but that is only half of our problem. If properties of the comet are somehow easing the Davidians' entry into this area of space, how do we stop them? The closest research facility is on Deep Space K7. I recommend that we go to K7. So now we're going to go to K7. And K7, as you know, was a space station originally introduced in the original Star Trek. It's a very well-known space station, and it is in the game as well. It's also a social zone. Everything is there, from the exchange to mail to a tailor to the ship selector. Everything is there. So K7 is an alternative to ESD if you want it to be. It's a nice space station. KDF can't go there though. The only place that Feds and KDF can go to is Drazana. Which makes sense because, of course, KDF can do the whole Davidian mission too. Except they don't go to K7 at the end, they go to a Klingon base Klingon starbase to do their research. So, here we are, on our way. And there's K7 way down there. Orbit, deep space, K7. See all the people here. There's a lot of people here. So now we gotta fly toward it. Got to beam down. And it seems they have greatly improved the visuals of K7 since my last visit. It's been a long time since I've been to K7. The transporter room used to be smaller. It looks like they've increased it in size and increased the visuals of it. They made it look more modern. It used to look more general. Yeah, they have really improved K7. It looks a lot better now. This is really nice. See if I can figure out where stuff is now. Lieutenant Calippo is in the science lab, and the science lab, believe it or not, was through Club K7, which didn't really make much sense to me, but let's see if that's still the case. Yeah, it's still the case. You have to go through the club to get to the lab, which I don't understand, but that's where it is. Alright, so here's the lab, and now we have to talk to Calippo, which is over here on this console. Now we consult him, and you can read about him, and about Franklin Drake, and all this stuff, and the synchronic distortion prototype rifle. So you can read all about that stuff, a lot of good information there. So, there are Davidians in the neutral zone. So that explains why Drake was interested in the prototype. It was a complete failure at detecting polarization cloaks, but if I may added a phase modulator and reverse the polarity, these modifications should be no problem. Ensign Ricky, and when I'm done, this be careful a little bit, it'll stop. So yeah, okay. There we go. Report to Franklin Drake, leave system. Okay, beam up. Basically, that's it. Mission done. That one's easy. Well, except for the puzzle. But doesn't take too long to get it done. So now we can turn it in. And we go down here, choose our gun, collect reward. And look at that. I'm like right there at the end for the next rank. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and equip our gun, our synchronic proton distortion rifle, which is a rare item, and it will auto level with us, increasing damage and all that good stuff. So as you can see right now, it has a bolt for the primary fire, and then the high density proton beam for the secondary fire. So pretty good weapon. It's not as much DPS as our current weapon, but that's because I've got a fully Mark IV weapon, and this is, well, it's not quite at the top of my level in rank yet. But anyway, once we get the Vice Admiral, it'll be, of course, fully powered. Anyway, good stuff. I'm pretty much set to fight the Davidians. Let's see if we can do that in the next episode.